Okay, so the reason I want to do this video is because my collection's really small, and I kind of want to show off my small collection of Blu-rays and DVDs, and then in however many months' time, do another video and look at the difference, because hopefully there'll be quite a big one. I don't have a constant source of income, I don't have a job or anything, so as I say, my collection is not that big, but hopefully it will be, and I kind of just wanted to show off what I've got so far, and then eventually do another one. I've got about 24 Blu-rays, so not many, and I haven't counted the DVDs, but I've got quite a few of those. A lot of them are from my childhood, so they're not massively films I'd watch now. But I think I'll just get straight into it. These are not alphabetically ordered because there's not really that many. I've got them in different categories rather than alphabetically ordered. So I think we'll start with the DVDs first. Okay, so first we have Anchorman. The DVDs are alphabetically ordered, sorry. So yeah, this is one of my favourite comedies. I watched it a few years ago for the first time on TV, and then we saw it in a charity shop for like £1, and so got it. I think it's hilarious. I think it's really funny. Will Ferrell isn't always hilarious in his films, but in this one he's really good. I did watch Talladega Nights, but I just thought it was bad. I know a lot of people like that one and prefer it over this one, but for me Anchorman is the best one. I have seen the second one, don't think it's quite as good, but it's still funny. And yeah, I rewatched this the other week actually. It's a great comedy. So next we have Black Panther. As a family we own the majority of the Marvel films on DVD. We've got Disney Plus now, so it's kind of, they're not really needed anymore, but when Black Panther came out on DVD, I went to the shop and it wasn't on the shelves. I was like, oh, and then I asked the guy if he had it, and he went back and found it for me, and so I got Black Panther. As I say, we've got most of them as a family, but this one's one that I bought, and I really liked Black Panther. I think, looking back, it's not as good as I thought it was when I first watched it. Like, when I first watched it, I was like, oh my god, best MCU film, and then afterwards I was kind of like, okay, maybe not, but it's still a solid watch, and obviously rest in peace Chadwick Boseman as well, so yeah, it's a solid film, and a good MCU film as well, and because his introduction in Civil War was just great. Civil War is probably my favourite Marvel film, and so it was really cool to get a solo film with him in it. So yeah, Black Panther. And then next we have Furry Vengeance, which was a film I got for Christmas a long time ago, like 2010, 2011, and I haven't watched it in years, but I've watched it a lot because we used to go on holiday camping, so we'd have to go on long car journeys and have to watch DVDs in the car on the little DVD player. So Furry Vengeance is a film I've watched quite a lot. As I say, I haven't seen it in years, but when I did watch it, it was always really funny. It was just a nice story, and yeah, Furry Vengeance. It's a weird one. Well, it's not a weird one, but it's one that I hadn't realised and remembered about until I saw it recently. I was like, oh yeah, that should probably be part of my collection. And Brendan Fraser, I think he's great. I feel really bad for what happened to him. He kind of dipped, but he's funny in the Mummy films, and he's kind of coming back now as well, which is good. But yeah, Furry Vengeance. So next we have one that is on Letterboxd. It's actually put as one of my favourite 4 films, and I'd probably say it probably is. It's Garden State. The reason I love this film is because the main star, Zach Braff, is in Scrubs, and Scrubs is my favourite show of all time. I'm going to talk a bit more about that later. And it's just kind of a story about a guy going back to his hometown, and kind of, it's difficult to explain because not too much happens. It's more about an emotional journey, but it's got Zach Braff, Natalie Portman, Peter Sarsgaard, Ian Holm, and it's just a cool indie film. It's got a great soundtrack. I believe it won an award for it, and I think a lot of people think that it's bad and kind of overrated because it's one of these mainstream indie films because it was so popular when it came out, but I don't know, I think there's a lot of value in it, even if sometimes it thinks it's more clever than it is, and I really like it. So yeah, Garden State. And next, see, this wasn't, I didn't actually have this in my room as part of my collection, but I went and found it because I think for my birthday one year I bought 2 DVDs with some money I had. I bought Monsters University, I don't know where that's gone, and then Green Lantern, which I know a lot of people, you know, say is really bad. I always enjoyed it. I've seen it a few times, you know, not loads. I've seen it a few times, and yeah, as I say, I always quite liked it. I feel like if I watched it now, I'd probably be like, okay, maybe it's not actually that good, but I always quite liked it, and so I have got it on DVD. Whether I'm going to watch it again anytime soon, it's probably not. But I know Ryan Reynolds watched it for the first time recently, and he was like, oh, it's not actually that bad. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting. But I do find it funny that at the end of Deadpool 2, Ryan Reynolds goes back in time and kills himself while he's reading the Green Lantern script. But yeah, Green Lantern. So next we have Joker. This was kind of, well, obviously cinemas October 2019, so it would have been early 2020 that it came out. I started my collection, my Blu-ray collection anyway, end of last year, and so this was before I was really interested in Blu-rays. I didn't really know the difference, to be honest. And And so I went to the shop, and on the first day it came out, got Joker on DVD. Seen it twice. I want to watch it again, actually, because my opinions have changed on it a little bit. But I saw this in the cinemas. I was so hyped for it, and I was kind of blown away in the cinemas. It was the first film in the cinemas that I saw that was rated 15, and I just loved it. I think, looking back, it's maybe not as good as I thought it was initially, but it's definitely one I want to rewatch. And Joaquin Phoenix is amazing. He definitely deserved that Oscar for Best Actor. And yeah, if you haven't seen Joker, I really recommend it. Obviously, a lot of people say that it's based on Taxi Driver and King of Comedy, which I haven't seen. I'm going to, but I don't think that really matters to me. Even if you're doing a very similar story, if you're using a different character and kind of changing it, it can make the film very different. And so, doing it in the context of the DC universe with a DC character as big as Joker, I don't think it really matters that much that it takes a lot of inspiration from all the films. But again, I haven't seen them. But yeah, Joker, it's a great film. Okay, so then we have the 3 Lord of the Rings films, so The Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, and Return of the King. I only watched these recently, actually. I'd never seen them before. Return of the King I watched about a month ago, and then the other 2 I watched about 2 months before that, because I watched the first 2, and then, because they were quite long, didn't get around to watching the third one for a couple of months. But I really enjoyed them. They're really good films. I think my favourite one is probably the second one or the third one. The second one I really liked because of the battle at the end, but the third one was brilliant as well. And so I'm not really sure which is my favourite, but I'm surprised it took me so long to watch them. I think it's because they're so long, and when I was younger I probably wouldn't have sat through them. I had seen the Hobbit ones before I saw these ones, and these are definitely better. But yeah, these are really solid films, and I'm surprised I hadn't seen them sooner. So yeah, I've got these on DVD because I was Blu-ray collecting by the time I got these on DVD, but I think my mum saw them in a charity shop for like £1 each, so she just picked them up. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with watching them on DVD because I'm not going to watch them over and over and over again, but I'm glad to have them. And eventually I might upgrade them to Blu-ray, but for now, I'm fine with having them on DVD. So the next one is a film that is... When I was younger, it's one of my favourite films. I remember seeing the trailer for it, thinking, oh, that looks really good. Not seeing it in cinemas, but again, waiting for it to come out on DVD and then going to buy it. And that is The Magnificent Seven, the 2016 remake with Denzel Washington and Chris Pratt and Ethan Hawke. And oh man, I watched this film so much. It's a brilliant action film, brilliant western. It's not like a 5 stars. To be honest, if I was to rate it now, I'd probably give it like a 3.5 out of 5. But it's such a good film, and it's quite nostalgic for me, even though it's only 5 years old. For me, I was 12 because I'm only 17, so for me that was quite a long time ago. And I really love this film. I've watched it so many times, as I say. And I don't know, remakes bother me a lot. But something like this, where it's a remake of a film that is very, very old, doesn't bother me too much, especially when you're adding something new cast, so it's quite different. And obviously, the original Magnificent Seven is based on Seven Samurai, which I haven't seen, which I really want to see. But yeah, Magnificent Seven, it's a remake I'm very okay with. I think it's really good, and if you haven't seen it, it's a great film. You should check it out. Okay, so next we have... Malcolm in the Middle, the complete first season. I watched this when I was a kid, probably when I was about 12, 13, 11 or 12, something like that. It was on TV, we just watched the odd episode every now and then from random seasons. I've never watched it fully all the way through, and I thought, you know what, I kind of want a DVD with some of these episodes on. And so I thought, well, I haven't seen many of the first season, so I'll get that. And so this is the first season. There's a few episodes I've seen a lot, and then there's, I haven't seen all of them like multiple times, but there's a few that I've seen quite a lot, like the Red Dress episode 2. I loved that one, and the one where they go to stock car races, that's a really funny one. So yeah, Malcolm in the Middle is a kind of, it's not something I'm desperate to watch now, but it is very, very funny, especially when I was watching it sort of 11 or 12, and I was kind of the perfect age for it. And so yeah, Malcolm in the Middle, first season. Then I've got The Maze Runner. I read the books, and then I think I was like halfway through reading the books, and the trailer dropped for this film, and so I was very excited. Didn't see it in cinemas, but I got it on DVD for Christmas. And at first I really enjoyed the film, but they changed a lot from the book and they got rid of a lot, which I didn't like at first. But now, looking back from sort of a film perspective, I can see why they did that. And so, yeah, I get it. And The Maze Runner, it's not an amazing film or anything, but I rewatched it a couple of months ago. It's a decent, adventure film, teen thriller, whatever. But yeah, Maze Runner. Books are better, though, I think. Saying that, though, I haven't read the books in years, and I also have the Scorch Trials on DVD. This was my favourite book, and the film came out. Liked the film a lot, and it was probably my favourite film out of the 3, but it changed so much. Like in the book, the bad guys, I can't remember what they're called, to be honest. Yeah, I can't remember. But they're like, in the book, they're more like psychopathic and like dangerous and like mentally insane people that are chasing after the kids, which is like, I remember reading it and being quite scared because I was in like year 5. But the film, they're just zombies. And so it just becomes a teen zombie film, which, you know, admittedly is a lot of fun and I'll happily watch it. And out of the 3 films, the first and second one, it'd be between those two, it's my favourite. So I have got it on DVD, got it for Christmas again. But I don't know, they changed a lot from the books, but again, from a film standpoint, it does kind of make sense. And I'd recommend the Maze Runner films. The Scorched Trials is a good one, and it has Giancarlo Esposito in it, which I didn't realise until... No, Giancarlo Esposito, sorry. And I didn't realise this until, like, last year, and I was like, what? How did I never realise that? Because I just discovered Breaking Bad, so that's cool. But yeah, Scorched Trials. Next, we have Meet the Sloths. When I was younger, well, I say younger, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, for some reason, I was obsessed with sloths. Don't know why. I was just obsessed with them. I used to research them, read about them, and then for my birthday I got lots of sloth gifts, and then I got Meet the Sloths on DVD. And I still happily watch this now. It's such a good... It's just a really nice documentary series that is set at this sloth sanctuary of like these people rescuing sloths and looking after them. It's really cute, sad at points, but it's a really nice documentary. And I don't know where you could watch it, but I'm really happy I've got it on DVD because it's just... It's a nice documentary. It's really nice. When you're watching it, it kind of looks like a dream job, but when you research it, all the volunteers do say that it's some really hard work and not necessarily always as enjoyable as it appears to be in the programme because it's so hard. But it's a great show, and I'm glad to have it. Okay, next we have The Meg. I've got this because I wanted to watch it in cinemas, didn't see it, and for my birthday my sister got it for me on DVD. Not recently, it was when it sort of came out. I've watched it. It's bad, but it's kind of that entertainment where you know it's bad when you're watching it, but you just kind of watch it because it doesn't really matter. So it's kind of what I want to rewatch in a way, because when I was watching it I was kind of like, this is bad. I don't want to enjoy this because this is bad. When in reality, if I watched it now thinking this is a bad film, but it'll keep me entertained for a couple of hours, I'll probably enjoy it. So yeah, that's The Meg. It's just a giant shark monster movie. I need to rewatch it. It's bad, but I don't really care because it's fun. Okay, so then we have Transformers Age of Extinction. When I was younger, I used to love the Transformers films. The second one was always my favourite, even though looking back now, that is the worst one. It was always my favourite though. Now the first one's probably my favourite, but Age of Extinction, got it on DVD, and got it on DVD, and because of that I watched it quite a lot. We have got the others as well. And it's a very messy, overly long film with too many plot points and stories going on at the same time, because you've got the big spaceship Transformers, and then you've got all the dinosaurs and the bomb at the end, and there's too many things going on, but it's I don't know, I still enjoy it. Transformers films I enjoy, even if they're not very good. And yeah, Age of Extinction, I don't know, it's the best one is probably the first one, followed by the third, then maybe this one, the second one. I don't know. I haven't seen The Last Night or Bumblebee. Don't really care for the idea of Bumblebee, to be honest. It just looks like E.T. but with Transformers. And John Cena I'm not a massive fan of. I think he's a bit naff as an actor, although I have met him. But yeah, Transformers Age of Extinction. And then coming to the end of the DVDs now, we have Treasure Planet. When I was younger, at childcare, I used to get home from school, go to childcare because my parents were at work, and I used to watch this every day. Treasure Planet was a film that I watched all the time as a kid. I kind of want to rewatch it now just for nostalgia's sake, because obviously it's the Disney space version of Treasure Island. And yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's a good one. I feel like it's kind of underrated and not many people know about it, because it's not really talked about as a really good Disney film, but I really think it is. You know, I loved it as a kid, and so yeah, I kind of want to rewatch it. But that is Treasure Planet. That is a nostalgic kid favourite for me. This one definitely. And then finally, for my DVDs, we have Tremors 5 Bloodlines. Some explanation for this film. I haven't actually seen it yet. I'm quite excited to watch it. My grandpa, his favourite film series is the Tremors series. He has all of them on DVD. The first one is by far the best. But we went around to his house and watched the second and third one. Then, like, I don't know, a year or a few months later, we watched the fourth one. And that was ages ago now. For my birthday, he got me Tremors 5 Bloodlines on DVD. So I'm yet to watch it. I'm looking forward to it. They're not like amazing masterpieces of cinema, but they're just fun monster movies, and I don't really know what more you can expect. So I'm quite excited to watch this one. As I say, I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, Tremors 5 Bloodlines is a film I'm going to watch very soon, because it's quite short and it just looks like fun. Okay, so I forgot to mention, they were my final single film DVDs, but I have the series. I did say Malcolm in the Middle in there as well, but these are complete collections. So first, I have Breaking Bad on DVD. It says on the back, one of the greatest dramas of all time, and I would 100% agree with that. It is an amazing show. I binged it very quickly. Feature runtime 47 hours. Okay, that is a lot of Breaking Bad. It's an amazing show. If you haven't seen it, you've got to watch it. It's brilliant. It's not really... I think a lot of people get put off by it because they think it's just about drug dealing, which it's not. It's about this character and his development and his change as he breaks bad. But it's such a good series, and I've watched it once on Netflix, and then for Christmas I got it on DVD. This was before I got into Blu-rays, and so if I was to get it now, I'd probably get it on Blu-ray, but it's on Netflix, so if I want to watch it in HD, I can, but I also have it on DVD, permanent copy. I think I got to Series 4 on my rewatch. I never finished my rewatch, because they're quite long episodes and there's other stuff I want to watch, but it's a really cool collection with like images on the back, and yeah, I've got Breaking Bad on DVD, and I am very happy that I do. And then next, this is kind of my prized possession DVD series collection. As I mentioned earlier, Scrubs is my favourite show ever, and I have the complete collection on DVD. I was devastated a couple of years ago because it was on Amazon Prime, and I used to binge it all the time, non-stop, and they took it off, and I had no way to watch it, so I had to like try and find like dodgy copies on YouTube and things like that. And then for my birthday I got it on DVD, the full collection. It has all 8 seasons plus Series 9, which I count as a spin-off. That is not Scrubs, but yeah, I've got all the series. It's my favourite show ever. I think it's brilliant. I think the comedy's great, the heart is great, you know, there's good drama, it's a dramedy, it's not just a comedy, and I love it. You know, there's definitely flaws in it, and I've noticed that more as I've got older and got into films more, but it's still my favourite show, and it always will be. And yeah, Scrubs on DVD, the complete collection, is like my prized possession. But it's on Disney Plus now, so I am rewatching it on Disney Plus. But the DVDs are the only ones with the proper music that hasn't been changed as well. So yeah, Scrubs complete collection, amazing. Okay, so we're finally going to get onto the Blu-rays now. DVDs took longer than I thought. I'll try and be a bit quicker, but as I say, they're not alphabetical. They are just in categories, which I will explain to you as I get to them. So first of all, we have my Tarantino films. I don't have all of them, but I will show you what I have got. So I have got the first 5 on a box set. This wasn't new. I found it in a CEX for like 15 quid, and I was like, yep, getting that, because it's like 25 quid new. So it's got Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, Kill Bill Volume 1 and Kill Bill Volume 2. Reservoir Dogs, really like it. Just watched it on Netflix first before getting the Blu-ray. Brilliant film. It's short, it's done well, it's the before and after of a heist rather than the main bit because of budget reasons, and it kind of works better for that. But yeah, Reservoir Dogs, his first film, is a brilliant film. Pulp Fiction, it's not that I don't like it, I really enjoyed it, but I think that, I don't know, you have to... Tarantino is not my favourite director. Tarantino is good at witty dialogue, and well, that's kind of his strength, isn't it? And Pulp Fiction is just a collection of mini stories with witty dialogue that all kind of combine in a non-linear way. And so it's definitely a really good film, and I can see why some people love it, but for me it's not the best film of all time, and it's probably one of my least favourite Tarantinos, even though it's good. Sorry. And then Jackie Brown. It is one of my favourite Tarantinos, even though for most people it's not. I liked it. I think that's probably because it was less Tarantino than the others in a way, because it's based off a book that was already written, and I don't know, I just really liked it because it was kind of a drama with, like a crime drama, and well, that's what it was. I don't know, I don't really know what else to say about it, but yeah, Jackie Brown I really liked. And then the 2 Kill Bill films. Kill Bill Volume 1 is the only Tarantino film I've rewatched. It's brilliant. It's just an awesome, colourful action samurai film that I think everybody should watch if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen any Tarantino films, start with Reservoir Dogs or Kill Bill. You know, go with his earlier ones. And then Kill Bill Volume 2, really good. At first when I watched it, I preferred it to the first one. Looking back, I now prefer the first one. But the second one is a great drama, a lot less action, a lot less killing and things like that, but it's still a great film. And yeah, they're the first 5 Tarantino films. So next I've got The Hateful Eight. This was one of the first Blu-rays I got for 2 quid, brand new. Most of my Blu-rays are pre-owned, but this is a new one. Watched it, really enjoyed it. I do think that looking back, it's not quite as good as I thought it was initially. I think it's overly long, and not really a spoiler, but he tries to do like a big twist thing towards the end, which worked, but wasn't as clever as it could have been. There could have been more clues earlier on in the film explaining that twist. But it's still a really good film, really good Tarantino film. And if you want like a character drama western with lots of characters in one location, then watch it. Obviously, he took a lot of inspiration from The Thing. I haven't seen that. It's recorded. I really want to watch it. So I'm going to do that soon. But yeah, take a look. And then my final Tarantino film, it's actually on DVD. This was a, I think it was Christmas present, birthday present, from my friends before I got into Blu-rays, and that is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's the first Tarantino film I watched, I'm pretty sure, and I really liked it, although unfortunately, when I first watched it, I didn't know who Sharon Tate was, and so I was like, why are we watching his random neighbour Sharon go around Hollywood? And so I just wasn't really interested in her scenes. But looking back, I really want to rewatch this one because even though a lot of people think it's his worst and then a lot of people think it's his best, I'm kind of interested to see what my opinion would be now knowing who Sharon Tate is. And as I've got a bigger appreciation of film now, it is one I want to rewatch. So yeah, that's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. On DVD, but it's with my Tarantino films, so yeah. Okay, so next we have my other shelf, which is, on this one, there is my my 4 mobster movies. We have the Godfather trilogy, Corleone Legacy Edition. I think it was like 1 or 2 years ago this version came out. I saw a lot of reviews of this set saying that it was no different to the other one, but since I didn't have them, I just thought I'd get the newest one because it was on offer anyway. The Godfather films have become some of my favourite films of all time. First 2 anyway. I rewatched the first 2 this year. Well, no, first one ended last year, like December 31st. But they're amazing films. They're just... I don't really know what else to say that hasn't already been said, but I love these movies. The third one I've only seen once, and I want to rewatch it. I think it's not a good Godfather film, but it's a good film. And when you think about it, it should have ended after number 2. But if they were making a third one, which they did, I don't really know how else they would have done it. You know, it could have been done better if they had more time, but story-wise, I don't really know how else they could have done it, even though I don't necessarily agree with it. But yeah, the Godfather trilogy came with a cool little family tree poster and some like art card things and like a mini photo frame, which is cool. But yeah, and then my other mobster film is Goodfellas. Amazing film, Martin Scorsese. Don't really have much to say other than that. It's a brilliant gangster mob film that spans many, many years. Obviously, people say it's quite realistic in the way it depicts mobsters compared to The Godfather, which is like an operatic drama, whereas this is like real life nitty gritty stuff. So yeah, Goodfellas, great film. Don't have much more to say than that. And then also on that same shelf, for some reason, is my newest Blu-ray, Whiplash. What a film. I'm a drummer, so I loved this film. I think J.K. Simmons is amazing. Miles Teller is really good as well. I think the drumming in it is amazing. The music's amazing. The visuals, the cinematography when they're playing the drums and the other instruments. It's a brilliant film. I rewatched it the other day. I was going to do a review for it. I might do that at the end of the week. I'm not sure yet, but I wanted to do my Blu-ray collection video, you see. But Whiplash, my newest Blu-ray, and I love this film. Okay, so my next shelf is my horror movies. I don't have many. I haven't really seen many horror films, but I'll go in the order. I've got them in like release order. So Poltergeist, watched this for the first time last Halloween. It was good. It's not amazing, but it was good. I don't really have anything else to say other than that. I think it's a bit cheesy, and obviously compared to today's standards, it's not that good. But that's unfair. It is a good film, and it's not really scary, so it's a good one to watch at Halloween if you want to watch a horror film but not be frightened to death. Then we have The Witch. Great film. Watched this for the first time last October with a friend. The cinematography and visuals I just think are stunning. The acting is brilliant. Obviously it kind of helped propel, I can't remember her name now, but the actress who was in Queen's Gambit, which I haven't seen yet. But yeah, The Witch is a great film by Robert Eggers. And I actually watched this one after watching The Lighthouse, which this is one of my only new Blu-rays. I was searching for this for ages, couldn't find it, and then I went to a HMV and it was there for 15 quid. I was like, yeah, I'm getting it. This is also a great film, great horror film. I can't really decide which one I prefer. I change my mind all the time because on a first viewing basis, I preferred this one. When I'm looking back at both of them, maybe this one, I'm not really sure, but the performances in both are great. I mean, Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe are amazing in The Lighthouse. Robert Pattinson, I'm glad he's finally getting appreciated as not just the Twilight actor. I think he's really good. And yeah, that's why I've got those two films. And that's all I've got for horror. I need to watch some more horror films. Okay, so we're coming on to some of my final films now. On this shelf we have my 2 spy movies. So we've got Skyfall. I think this is the first Blu-ray I got, actually, for like £2. It was like it's not brand new, but it's like a pre-owned one they kind of redo to make sure it's perfect in a way, like feels like it's new or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, Skyfall. Blu-ray and DVD, which is cool. My favourite James Bond film, my favourite Daniel Craig Bond film, even though Casino Royale is probably better. This is my favourite one. The visuals and cinematography is stunning, the acting's great, and Skyfall's a great Bond film. If you want a good spy film, watch Skyfall. And then my other one is Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. I don't know, I wasn't fussed on this one. I think it's because I kind of forgot who people were and it was complicated, and at the end I was like, wait, what happened? I don't really get what happened. I feel like if I was to read up on what happened and then rewatch it, I'd probably enjoy it more because I'd know what was going on. But I think that's the problem with films where if you forget people's names or you don't pick up on important details in small moments of dialogue, you can lose the whole film. And so this is probably where I need to give it another watch, but I can't say I'm desperate to watch it. I'm sure it's really good, but for me, I wasn't fussed. And then also on the shelf, for some reason, is The Revenant. Haven't watched it yet. It was like a $5 at CEX. I know some people say that Leonardo DiCaprio didn't deserve the Best Actor Oscar for this, but I've watched the trailer. The cinematography looks amazing, so I'm looking forward to watching it. I just haven't got around to doing that yet. I've been watching other stuff, but yeah, I have got The Revenant on Blu-ray with a nice slipcover as well. And then I also have Limitless. One bought this in the charity shop for me. Really entertaining film until the end, which is just a massive letdown. Unless I misunderstood the ending. I don't want to say because I don't want to spoil anything, but it's just a nice, entertaining watch with Bradley Cooper, who I think is quite underrated for a lot of the film, and then the ending, it was just like, what? Although it does say here in special features there's an alternate ending. Might have to watch that, see if it improves it. But yeah, Limitless. Good film, ending's not. My final movies to go through are basically, apart from one, all my Christopher Nolan films. I haven't got all of them. I haven't got Insomnia, Interstellar or Dunkirk, but I have got the others. So I've got Memento, searched for this for ages to get a good price, bidding on eBay, finally got it. It's a good film. I think some people say it's one of his best. I don't know if I agree with that, but then again, I did love watching it. I'm not trying to make it sound like I didn't. I did, and I think it was just because I didn't click on to what had happened like straight away at the end, and so I had to look it up, and then I was like, oh, so you know. I did do a Christopher Nolan tier ranking, by the way, if you want to check that out. But yeah, Memento. So it's a great film, and his second one, Following. Haven't got Following either. And then obviously Batman Begins. I started to rewatch this the other night. Actually, I didn't finish it in the end, but it's a great film. What else can I say? I can't really say anything else. I don't know. I'm struggling to find things to say, but it's probably one of the best Batman films. There's 2 best Batman films, and I'm about to show you the second one in a minute. Batman Begins is a great Batman origin film, and yeah. Then you have The Prestige. Amazing film. Kind of blown away first time I watched it. There was a little detail at the end that I didn't, for some reason, misunderstood until recently, and I was like, oh. So it's actually got a darker ending than I realised. But this is an amazing film. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix, I believe, now. And The Prestige is it's fantastic. Hugh Jackman is amazing. I think he must be quite underrated. Obviously, he's brilliant as Wolverine, but I don't know, I haven't really seen him do much else. I saw him in Prisoners, but he's amazing in this. And so is Christian Bale. Prestige is amazing. Next, we have The Dark Knight, The Holy Grail. It is an amazing film. I've said that a lot today, but it is the best Batman film in my opinion. Heath Ledger is amazing, what can I say? Christian Bale, I also think Batman's story arc in this is maybe a little bit underrated. A lot of people focus all their energy into saying how good the Joker was, but Batman's story in this is great as well. And The Dark Knight, I don't really have much more to say, same as Batman Begins. It is a great Batman film. I actually watched this before watching the other 2 Nolan Batman films, so it does work as a standalone as well. But yeah, The Dark Knight is probably, well, it is one of my favourite films, if not my favourite, but probably one of my favourite because I love the Godfather films now. But yeah, this was kind of the first film that I watched that blew me away and got me properly into film. I was already quite into it, but after watching this I was just sucked straight in because it's just a masterpiece. So then we have Inception. I went through an Inception phase recently, and then I went through a Tenet phase where I was kind of like, oh, I think I prefer Tenet, and now I'm like, no, Inception is a great heist film where you're planting something rather than stealing something, but through dreams. Great cast. Leonardo DiCaprio is brilliant in this. I think he's a bit overrated as an actor, but he's really good in this film. And Inception, what can I say? Oh, and the score by Hans Zimmer. Time by Hans Zimmer is my favourite piece of music from a film I've ever watched. I like the Godfather ones as well, but Time is just, I listen to it all the time. It's brilliant. Inception, great film. Then we've got The Dark Knight Rises, worst of the trilogy, but still a really good film. Brilliant visuals. Tom Hardy's Bane is amazing. I just think he's brilliant when he's like beating Batman up and his mask shatters. It's just, it's brilliant visuals. As I say, I don't think it's the worst of the trilogy. I think there's some things in it that I don't really like. I'll probably go into this in more detail if I ever do like a Batman video or something. But yeah, The Dark Knight Rises, it's a good film. It's not the best out of the three, but it's still a really good Batman film that I would happily watch any day of the week. And then my most recent Blu-ray was Whiplash, but before that it was Tenet. I got it for my birthday. This is, I think, severely underrated by everybody because it's complicated. If you actually research it and understand what's going on, it is a brilliant film. I think the science is really interesting. It's, what it says on the back, spectacular when you're watching it, yes. I think the acting is great. Robert Pattinson is a brilliant character in this. And yeah, Tenet, I think it's underrated, and I think if you haven't seen it, or you've seen it once, give it another shot. It's worth watching. And then my final Blu-ray to show you is Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition. Now, when I first watched this film, the normal edition, when it kind of just after it came out, didn't like it. Civil War had come out at the same time, and I just thought it was DC trying to copy Marvel's Clash of the Titans film, and I just didn't like it. This was before I'd seen the Dark Knight trilogy as well. Didn't like it. And then last year, Jeremy Johns posted a video of reviewing the Ultimate Edition and was like, you know what, it's pretty good, you should give it a chance. And I saw it in CEX for like £2.50, something like that, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to get it because out of interest, I want to see if it's actually any good, the Ultimate Edition. And it was. I've actually grown to really like this film. Obviously, I watched Zack Snyder's Justice League the other week, which is probably the better film, but currently I would rather rewatch this because I've only seen the Ultimate Edition once. I think Ben Affleck as Batman is severely understood by most people, and I really like him. I also think his suit is awesome. I know a lot of people think it doesn't. I think a lot of people think it looks a bit comical. I think it just looks awesome and is really close to the comics. I think Henry Cavill as Superman is a perfect casting choice, and Wonder Woman is great in this film as well. And again, the Hans Zimmer score, what a composer. Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition is a solid film. It's not a 5-star film, but I've come to really like it. And to anybody that's seen the normal edition and was kind of like, what was that? But they want to give it another chance, check out the Ultimate Edition. I would recommend it. Some people don't like it. I lent it to a friend the other week and he wasn't really that fussed, but I lent it to another friend the week after. He really liked it. I think, give it a chance. It's a good film. That is my DVD and Blu-ray collection. Not many films compared to some people who've got like 600, but still, I think, a pretty decent collection. There's gaps to fill. I need to get all the Nolan films. Following is difficult to get. I need to get all the Tarantino films. And there's some other films I really want to get as well. Like, I want to get the 300 because I haven't seen that, but I think it'll look nice visually. I also want to watch Apocalypse Now because I love The Godfather so much, and a lot of people say that's really good as well. So yeah, there's a lot of films I need to get. Any recommendations, put them down in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment if you've subscribed. Make sure to check out my other videos. And thanks very much for watching today's Blu-ray collection. Hopefully next time it'll be a lot bigger. But yeah, thanks for watching.